Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy CV with another reaction video. And this one, I couldn't wait for it. It's been highly requested on this channel because of our guy, Elvis Presley. This video is Elvis Presley in the Black community. Echo will never die. It's a 14-minute video, and I just can't wait to watch it because it's been so highly requested. And I'm interested to see what we learned from this because I really don't know much about Elvis. I've done 4 songs and they were amazing. And those 4 songs was not what I thought Elvis was. And frankly, to be honest with you guys, man, I thought Elvis was more of a joke because of the way they mocked him, in my opinion, when they dress up like Elvis. I don't see too many people who dressed up like Elvis but took it serious. And I've seen comedy shows and where they mock him. So that's how I took Elvis, and I listened to 4 songs. It's the most heartfelt songs that I've heard from an artist in a long time, and the way he does it is different. So I really want to dive into this and see what we learn from this 14-minute video because it's been highly requested. So let's get this to 100 likes if we can. Appreciate you guys, man. Let's do it.
I thought he was a very beautiful, and still is, a very beautiful person, and his memory shall probably forever live on.
Well, you ain't nothing but a rabbit. You ain't no friend of mine.
There is no room in this city for the vulgar performances of Elvis Presley.
It's shocking.
Really?
I watched him gyrate his legs and swivel his hips. And our parent-teachers group feels he should not be on television.
We've set up a 20-man committee to do away with this vulgar, animalistic, nigger rock and roll bop. Our committee will check with the restaurant owners and the cafes to see what Presley records is on their machines and then ask them to do away with them.
What? Wait.
And the cafes.
Wait, I remember seeing this on one of my favorite films of all time, Forrest Gump, when he said that was that man where they hated him for no reason or something like that. And I thought that was like, okay, they hated on him. Okay. Did this guy just say we have a committee and we're going to go to restaurants to ban what he called the N-word rock? Because, okay.
Our committee will check with the restaurant owners and the cafes to see what Presley records is on their machines and then ask them to do away with them.
You've learned anything from the criticism leveled at you?
No, I haven't.
You haven't, huh?
Because I don't feel that I'm doing anything wrong.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
I like that. I like that, Elvis.
Rock and roll has got to go. And go it does at KWK. We're all through playing rock and roll records. This week is record-breaking week here at KWK. And after this week, no more rock and roll will be played on the air.
The obscenity and vulgarity.
Bro, so wait, it was that serious that they hated on Elvis and tried to take his voice because what? Because he was in the black community? I guess we'll watch it and see, but like, and I know in the movie that I just watched, he loved black artists. Like, he was influenced by a lot of black artists. What is wrong with that? I like, huh? But wait. So, my head is spinning. I'm sorry. My head is spinning. They tried to stop this man and try to stop his expressions, right? His music, his joy, his love, his music, because he was inspired by certain people. That is crazy to me. Now, think about this on the flip side of it, of things. They hated on a white man for being inspired by somebody that didn't look like him. Let's say a couple of brothers, right? Couple of musicians. Forget it's not even so much black, but I'm saying he was inspired by someone that didn't look like him. Well, a couple of artists, right? That's what I got from the movie. And also the church in the area where he grew up in. So imagine that black guy. Imagine what he has to deal with. Elvis is getting this type of hate because he was inspired by someone that didn't look like him. And that person that didn't look like, imagine what he has to go through. Because he's the one. It's his fault. All right, let's keep going, man. This is about Elvis. And this is blowing my mind because I didn't know this was a thing with Elvis. I didn't know it was like this. I did not know that. This dude's breaking records. And I don't mean breaking records in a good way either. Like he's literally breaking records. I'm sorry.
Is record-breaking week here at KWK.
This is
and
crazy.
After this week, no more rock and roll will be played on the air.
The obscenity and vulgarity of the rock and roll music is obviously a means by which the white man and his children can be driven to the level with a nigger.
What?
It is obviously nigger music.
Everybody mostly turned him down. And because first thing, he had Negroes' ways. This is what they didn't, really at that time, they didn't want to accept.
By black performers. And he, in essence, because of at that particular time, the kind of backwards mental capability that many people had.
Wow.
As judging a person because of the color of their skin is somewhat still does exist. But back then it was worse. And he actually, because of him being a Caucasian brother, he was able to...
A Caucasian brother. I love that, Stevie. And this is a man who doesn't even see colors. This is a man that don't even see colors. Man, if you were that type of human being that all you see is colors, man, you should be ashamed of yourself, man. Ashamed of yourself. This is a man who can't even see. Still calls him a brother. It don't matter. Let me breathe, man. I'm getting worked up. Like, why'd you guys make me watch this, man? I'm getting worked up, man. It's 2 minutes in.
Color of the skin is somewhat still does exist. But back then it was worse. And he actually, because of him being...
I love that. Caucasian brother.
He was
love it.
Able to do away with that whole thing.
He's 77-year-old Early Wright, a disc jockey at radio station WROX in Clarksdale for 45 years.
Hi there. Pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How do you do? This is your soul man to be with you until I get through.
I used to love these type of
don't have
DJs.
no fear. Following Jay's show, should I play one like this one from out of here? Elvis Presley.
Ooh. Shout out to him.
Elvis's songs still get good play on Wright's program among the blues, gospel, and jazz recordings that are its staples. It was almost 40 years ago when Elvis drove down to Clarksdale from Memphis with a record. And
hey, do you guys think he was doing a lot of the gospel stuff because they played the gospel record? I know he was around the church a lot, so, but the fact that this station plays a lot of his gospel stuff, I'm assuming, did that push him to do more gospel? So that way more people can hear it and it could be on the radio? Just a thought.
Asked him to play it.
And I had been playing his record. And I had never seen him before. And I was amazed to see him. When he introduced himself to being Elvis Presley, then I went all to pieces over it. Then he and I started talking. I used to be the manager of a gospel group called the 4-Star Quartet. And I could listen to a man sing a hymn. I could listen to a man sometime talk. I did that. And I could pick him out whether he could fit in my group. And talking to Elvis Presley, I could see a great future in him.
Ooh.
It's no accident that Wright recognized Elvis's strong gospel roots. Here at the East Trigg Baptist Church in Memphis, older members of the congregation remember Elvis joining in with the choir while in high school.
Wow.
These were rousing sessions led by the charismatic pastor, the Reverend W. Herbert Brewster.
Like most black people in the South, and to whose throat God has pressed down a harp of 1,000 strings, it only needed tuning. Elvis's voice was that type of voice that agreed with the thought of Calvary. He had that kind of bent and inclination and attitude. That's a
Man, what that guy just said, like, listen to what he just said about a man who's no longer here. Like Elvis' legacy is solidified. The shame of this is that I never thought this was even part of Elvis's legacy. It's part of his life. It's part of his stepping stone in his life that I never thought existed. And that guilt sets in again for me because I'm that type of person. It's my heart. This is how my heart and my soul function. I'm all about people. I sympathize with people. I can't help it. It's just one of my superpowers. To see this side of Elvis and to get rid of the thought that I thought he was just a joke, or people dress like him as like a costume in Vegas to be funny and put on a stupid show. This man is more than that, just from what I've been listening to. To hear what that passage just said was powerful, man. I'm going to go back to it. I'm sorry. This is just how I react. Some of you guys will not like it. Just let it play. No, this is how I do things. Thought pops in, I gotta let it out. I'm sorry. This is powerful stuff right here.
Black people in the South, and to whose throat God has pressed down a harp of 1,000 strings, it only needed tuning. Elvis's voice was that type of voice that agreed with the thought of Calvary. He had that kind of bent and inclination and attitude that suggested that
he just needed a little bit of tuning and God will use him.
I gave the music a different approach, a new beat. I knew that it wasn't going to hurt if I said, "Must Jesus bear the cross alone," whether I've said with one beat, two beat, whether I've said it high or low. And I told them, "Come on in here and put your stuff together." They came in here, and it was a glorious experience, and Elvis was in that group.
Elvis came out with a style of his own, and it was very creative. And once he got into it, and you got that feel, Elvis just took off like a late freight. And with Elvis doing this kind of music, gave an injection to black music that no other artist had ever done.
It was like an earthquake in my neighborhood. The whole place was shaking when he came on. And I said, how did a person possess that kind of power? That it even comes off the TV and grab me in this ghetto neighborhood.
Elvis took my Tutti Frutti, and I was very disgusted. But by him singing it, he really made it bigger and made me bigger.
I never knew he did that. If a white artist doing something, they would just say, they don't like our blacks and we don't like them either. He's nothing but a copycat. But Elvis Presley, when he came on, chicks was screaming and going crazy, and it was like any other neighborhood. And I said, this guy's got something going, man.
Elvis had something that made him sound like he truly meant it, and that's what made a lot of people like myself like him.
I think Elvis had lots of soul. He appealed to black people. He definitely had to have soul in order to do that.
I think there's ever been an artist that when his name went on the marquee, they knew he was coming. People came from all over the world. I never heard of that.
Elvis did a lot of stuff that, rappers do these days.
He had the bling. You gotta have the bling when you're from Memphis.
He had the bling, he had a Cadillac, he had like a gangster in him.
Isn't it funny? Because I know that's I forget his name right now, but he's a good producer. He has his own 6 month. Anyways, it's funny the way he just said that, like, rappers relate to him because he had he had the not only the soul, but he had the bling. I didn't look at it like it's a bling. Like I looked at it as like, okay, this is a funny thing. It's a joke. Like what is he trying to do? But now that I think about it and I see that, yeah, he was expressing himself. You know what I'm saying? I never thought about it that way just because, like I said, the stigma of him being a joke, that's just how I saw it. So when I saw the bling, I just go, oh, that's the accessory, just more of a joke. But the way he put it, I get it. Yeah, that's a bling. You know what I'm saying? I know that sounds so stupid, but like sometimes when you hear somebody else say something, right? Let me slow down. Someone could say something to you and you hear it totally different. And somebody else who's very patient and can speak and get to you will say the exact same thing and you probably won't even budge. And that's what I just got from that. The way he put it as a rapper is like, yo, I looked at it as a bling, but I didn't have that mindset to look at it as a bling, if that makes sense. So I love that, man. That was cool.
He had a Cadillac, he had like a gangster in him. As the snow flies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto.
The song also resonates with people who've only met Elvis through his songs.
I was talking about the hood. You know, they're talking about where we come from.
Paul Beauregard and Jordan Houston are the Oscar-winning rap duo 3-6 Mafia.
Yeah,
they grew up just 2 blocks from Graceland in one of Memphis's poorest neighborhoods.
I want a CD scratcher.
My mom used to always listen to this song when I was young. He talked about, you know, things that she went through. You know, she had like, you know, my mom had a bunch of kids, like 9 kids. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get somebody to listen to your song. You talk about what they know about and what they want to hear. And she know about the ghetto because, you know, she lived in the ghetto.
In the ghetto.
That's it.
And his mama cries.
Oh, still gets to me.
But if there's one thing that she don't need, it's another hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto.
After we find the part on the record that we want to use, we sample it.
So many things going through my head, man.
Or the keyboard. That way we can loop it like.
My first line says, first I'm broke, so I hang out with the rat and roach. It's still broke, so I'm sleeping on apartment floors. So it's just like the struggle, you know, what's going on in the hood. First I'm broke, so I hang out with the rat and roach. It's still broke, so I'm sleeping on apartment floors. And I was off beat, but it's all good, cause it's on TV. maybe do some edits, make me look cool, maybe put my name in the credits.
Once we have all that ready, you know, we load it into the drum machine and then
Paul.
Hi-ya!
So he starts to roam the streets at night, and he learns how to steal, and he learns how to fight in the ghetto.
Survival is an everyday task. Watching your back for the man wearing the mask. I say you might get stuck if you in the hood looking like you can't.
I never heard this one by 6 Mafia. I like that.
First I'm broke, so I hang out with the rat and roach. And still broke, cause I'm sleeping on apartment floors. The junkies get up, kick when they smoke the brick. I never seen a drug dealer ever call it quits. The hood struggle is to make you gotta get the change. See, every day is like a dark cloud full of rain.
I just want to say this real quick. The shirt that he's wearing, I used to do those shirts back in the day because I have a printing company. Still do till this day. I used to do those shirts all the time. It used to be requested. So what I used to do is the heart, I used to make that glow in the dark. So it was a little bit different. And yeah, people used to contact me a lot. So I just saw that. I know this is old. So anyway.
It's tapping for it's dangerous when you're hood trapping. So don't get lost in the sauce slinging, cold crackling.
So help your brother along the way, no matter where he starts. But the same God that made you made him too. These men with broken hearts.
Yeah. Wow. Those
During
are just
the
men
60s
with
and early
broken
70s,
hearts.
when tensions between blacks and whites were at an all-time high, Elvis demonstrated his desire for racial reconciliation in the musicians that he chose and the treatment they received.
When we first decided to take the gig with Elvis, we had no idea that there would be any racial flack regarding it. Our first racial encounter was when we went to Texas. Elvis was told by his people that, well, you can leave the black girls home. You don't have to bring them. So Elvis wasn't going to do the Astrodome unless his girls could be with him. And he demanded that we be given the star treatment. We had to be in our convertible where everybody could see us.
Wow.
And our little blonde could drive us. And
Driving Miss
that was
Daisy.
his statement. You don't like it?
Wow.
Deal with it, or I'm not going to be there. And I thought that was very big of him.
When I joined the group in 1972, they took a big chance because there were no blacks in contemporary or Southern gospel music, and I was the first one, and it made all the headlines and everything. It was in Billboard and all the newspapers in Tennessee. And my first time meeting Elvis was, he had a a folder full of clippings of things that he had read about me. As a matter of fact, the Imperials brought me to his suite, and he gave me this folder with all the clippings, and he personally welcomed me into the family. And for a guy who, you know, didn't really know where he stood, this was very important, that he acknowledged my presence and, you know, made me feel very much a part of what we were all doing. And right away, he treated me like he'd known me for years. He gave me one of those TCB chains and everything, and I was just one of the guys, and I never forgot that.
And I'd been around.
Hey, man, I thought the Rockefeller started the chain thing where you welcome somebody to the group, you give them a chain. You telling me Elvis started that and Jay-Z copied it? Let me not say copy. Inspired Jay-Z. Huh.
And everything,
something
and
to think
I was
about.
Just one of the guys, and I never forgot that.
And I'd been around him with other people of color, and I've only seen him give love. He was very generous to people that he didn't even know.
Love is the cure, man.
Any racial persuasion for him to love you.
And you know how rumors get started when there's a big star or something. The people will start rumors. Well, he doesn't like this kind of people, or he doesn't like those people or that people. And I never got that from him.
But you know, Elvis is a whole nother thing. It's just, I think it's scary to even be compared to people in that, like, you know what I mean? Because he's such a big talent, and in his absence, of course he's bigger than in his presence. And music marks time, so in this time period, what Elvis was to his period would be something totally different.
That's
but
crazy.
I think rock and roll, I mean, is it?
Tell him 50.
What he brought to Vegas is more than rock and roll. I mean, I think it's just so much going on out here on the entertainment front. Like right now, you'll see the likes of Celine Dion and Tony Braxton. It's a lot going out here. You know what I mean? As far as rock and roll is concerned, it's great. I mean, Elvis Presley was able to do things that haven't been able to be duplicated to this day.
Black American music influenced Elvis. The fact that people say, well, he's the king of it all, king of rock and roll, is a slap in the face to those that made the music possible in the first place. Not to say he wasn't brilliant. I think he was a fantastic, talented singer.
I don't think he ripped them off. I think once something has been exposed, anyone can add or take from it if they like. He was just so great, so popular, so hot, so anything that he played, it became a hit. To me, that
I've always heard that in the black community too, is that like he stole the music and never gave credit. I like to think it was more inspired by, because I mean, just to hear it in the songs like In the Ghetto, like to me tells me like there's an understanding. He understands what's happening around him. You know what I'm saying? Black or white. I think that's the most powerful thing, is knowing what's around you, what's going on. And he's just singing about that. He's singing in the church. That's his surrounding. And yeah, so I like to look at it as more inspired more than anything.
didn't make a mistake when they called him the king.
The only thing I want to know, was he my friend? Did I enjoy him as a performer? Did he give the world of entertainment something? Yes, on all counts. And that's the name of that tune.
He was a bundle of energy set to music.
Wow.
And that echo will never die.
Wow. That preacher right there, man, I just love the way he talked. I love the words that he used to describe Elvis, man. Just talking about his voice, and he said Elvis just needed some tuning so God can use him, because, you know. Ooh. Anyways, man. Okay, I can see why a lot of people wanted me to watch this, because this is something I never knew about Elvis. I heard the other side of things, the side of he copied some great black musicians, copied their style, did it, and white people loved it, and here we are, right? But sometimes, man, who said it? I love battle rap. Okay, I love battle rap. And there's a battle rap company called URL. And this slogan is, you can copy our style, but you can't copy respect. And I think with Elvis, yeah, let's say he did copy, right? Let's just say he did. He copied everything, right? But you can't copy soul. You can't copy feeling. You can't copy emotions. You can't copy talent. Those things got to be in you. You got to have it. You got to have it. No matter how much copy and like step by step you do, you still got to have a talent. You still got to have the soul. You still got to have it in you. So if I want to be Michael Phelps today and I want to copy him, guess what? I can mimic his swimming style. That doesn't mean I can swim like him. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be 30 times champ like he is. You still got to have it in you. So, and so for that, that's why sometimes I call it, inspired by. Because you still got to have it in you to do what you do. I'll say this, man. There's 3 artists that I would love to hear talk today. Like Tupac is one of those guys. I wish he was alive today to talk. To hear a mature Tupac Shakur speak. After living and having his experience, I would love to hear Tupac to be alive today and speak and give, opinion on how the world is and life and all that stuff. Another one is, I'll put Elvis in there as well. Well, before Elvis, I would put Bob Marley would be the other guy that I would love to hear how he sees the world today. I would like to hear from Elvis, considering his legacy is so big at the age of 42, and his legacy is this big. Imagine 42 years later where it would be and how he would tell his story in his own words. That's something that I would love to hear. Tupac, Elvis, Bob Marley. I'm talking about musically. There's a lot of other people I'd love to hear. I'm talking about in terms of music and impact that these people have in music, in their own genre. Yeah, those are the 3 that I would love to hear, man. I'm learning a lot about Elvis, and I appreciate you guys for just giving me a chance to understand, because I really don't know. The only reason I wanted to react to Elvis' stuff is because of the movie. And that movie was so good, man. And I think they did a wonderful job. And I'm glad they did that movie, because if they didn't, it would still be, I don't know who this guy is. I appreciate the movie. And that movie had the same impact for me, kind of like what Jamie Foxx did as Ray. Same impact, man. It was done well, man. Elvis movie was done well, man. I think just from that movie, you got me. You got me. And I'm pretty sure you got a lot of more people. So, wow. There's a lot to think about, man. Lots to think about here with Elvis. I want to listen to more music. We're just scratching the surface with Elvis, man. 4 songs in. We need more. And a lot of people said, hey, man, he's won, what is it, not Academy Awards. He's won, I don't know what you call the music award, but he's won it with gospel songs. And when I hear him sing, I said, he sounds churchy. And I think some people thought that was funny. I didn't want to say gospel or soul because I don't know anything about Elvis. So I was like, oh, he sounds very churchy, right? And so, yeah, I do want to go to one gospel song next and see how that sounds, man. And then we'll keep going. We'll keep going. And then I find out he's done so many movies and TV shows. Like, I forget about that too. And that's part of his legacy as well. So anyways, man, like Elvis said, man, just love is the key, man. Just love each other, man. Be brothers and sisters, man. It's really not that hard. It's free to just respect someone, appreciate someone, have empathy for someone. It's not always about you sometimes. It's not always about you. Sometimes if you see somebody in need, give them a helping hand. That comes back twice as much. Twice as much. Sometimes it may not come in the form of money. It could come in the form of luck. It could be the next person that just comes and helps you out. So yeah, man, show love to each other, man. It's really not that hard. And it doesn't cost you a thing, man. Just to be nice. Hold a door for somebody. Say good morning. Say thank you. Say, hey, I appreciate you. Those are words that go a long way when somebody needs it and you just don't know. Those words could save somebody's life that morning. When you left your house and you said good morning, you acknowledged someone that needed to be acknowledged. You could have probably saved lives and you don't even know it. You don't even know it. So be kind. Be kind. All right, man. Till next time. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Keep your head up. Love.